Water in life is love. But what's love got to do with it? It's hard to imagine.
And that's where we're at a very interesting crossroad in indigenous communities here in the U.S. that we're losing a lot of our knowledge and our language because we're forced to assimilate into mainstream America. So there's still that work to heal from that experience and to value our traditional knowledge again. Food sovereignty for our community is really looking at our own traditional knowledge and the wisdom that our ancestors had developed and left for us, and it's still carried by our elders. So really going back and re-understanding what did this knowledge and this wisdom say to us about how to revive and rebuild our food system. I think it's really important that we come from that position of power and not from victimhood.
Our Black Mesa Water Coalition gives like a cultural awareness about what our seeds and the land and also the animals that are around us, how we can work together with it and also like continue it where we won't lose it, and also just learning the language.
We are developing different water catchment technique, both using traditional knowledge but also innovating as a way to create or to help the landscape enhance its reproductive and regenerative nature, so that we are utilizing the rainwater that we do get and understanding how does the land respond to that, the different plants that grow out. A lot of these plants are also medicine. They're also edible, so it's teaching us not only the cultivated plants but also the other native plants that grow around there, and they reappear as we rehabilitate these landscapes.
It kind of gives me like comfort of like I'm going through to the right path, and I'm not being a part of the extractive economy, and it's just a healing property for me to become more grounded in who I am as a Dene.
I think we need to develop economic systems that can help our young people not only be economically viable in their lives, but that economic activity that they're engaged in is very meaningful in carrying the traditions on and helping to restore lands and helping to restore food system. There's a lot of opportunities to develop both the knowledge and the skills to do that. The just transition for us really came from a need to transition away from a fossil fuel-based economy, which our tribe is heavily dependent on the royalties coming from these exploitation of coal, gas, and other resources. So our call for the nation is really to move away from that type of destructive development to a more sustainable, regenerative economy. And we realize that it's not going to happen overnight. There has to be a systematic, intentional approach to how we're going to transition away. And in doing so, reducing our carbon footprint. And I think that's what the scientists have been saying for a long time. And again, we're reminded again last week that we have the window of opportunity is very short, and it's going to happen in our lifetime. So we have an important responsibility to continue to push this transition. And within the framework that we work in, within the just transition, is that there has to be a cultural shift from how we see things and how we interact with our environment. The land is sacred, the elements are sacred, and we have to understand it in that way. It's not a resource to be exploited, but to see it as a life force that needs to be protected and have reverence for it. So